What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Sunday night. The weekend, it was a beautiful one, and free agency was wild, so trying to keep you up with that. There's madness galore, so hope you're all enjoying yourselves, having a great night. But this is not a live video. I would love to hear your comments down below, though. And I appreciate you hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, everything you're doing to support here. But I'm here to finish up the best remaining free agent series. So we're going to go through and we are going to talk about the remaining free agents on special teams. We'll be talking about the specialists and the return specialists. And I'll give you my top 5 free agent targets from these positions, just like we've been doing the last couple of days with offense and defense. If you missed any of those, go check them out. I will post them down below in the comments to all those videos so you can see who the best available are. So I appreciate you taking the time. Let's jump right into this, and we'll get into the free agent specialist. So whoever you're a fan of, whether you're an Eagles fan or not, there are a couple options out here. I have the kickers and punters on the same page. Kickers on the, I'm sorry. We'll go with the long snappers first. We're taking a long shot here. So you've got a few long snappers, but the Eagles are good there, man. Rick Lovato is one of the best. Then kickers and punters. Obviously, on the left side, I had just mentioned the kickers and then punters on the right side there. But Jake Elliott, I think, is a phenomenal kicker. So happy there with the Eagles, at kicker. But punter, Sipos got hurt last year. The year before that, he was very questionable. So got to wonder if they want to bring in any, of these veteran guys for competition. Now, we talked about this last week, and maybe you bring someone in, but I don't think you need to pay another punter. I think maybe you get an undrafted kid, something, whatever. You see how Sipos looks this summer, and then you go from there. But I wouldn't mind some competition, but I don't think it's really anywhere you need to look. So I saved my top 5 for those return specialists. And look, there's a lot of talent here. I've got over 30 names here we're going to look at real quick here, 2 pages. But I'm going to give you my top 5 guys here, and all kinds, cornerbacks, wide receivers, running backs. So got them listed here, but you've got a plethora of names here: Carter, Cooper, Crowder, Drake, Goodwin, Hardman, Hilliard. Now, some of these guys were the kick returners or punt returners for their teams last year, but some of them just have the talent to do so. So wanted to show you some of the available free agents again, in case you missed any of those offense or defensive ones. And there are guys with this talent here. So you saw McKissick was released. Jerick McKinnon is a free agent. Isaiah McKenzie was released. Jarvis Landry still out there. We talked about Dearness Johnson. So Andre Roberts, Scotty Miller, a lot of really talented guys that not only could help you, in the return game, but on offense or possibly defense as well, as you'll see with a couple guys here. So look, again, a lot of talent here, and the Eagles struggled in the return game last year. So for me, you could definitely be looking to add to this room. And we've got Britton Covey. I like Covey. Only problem is that, he doesn't kick return. So you need to find somebody that can help you there. We have Rashad Penny, but if you want to try to feature him, I don't know if you want to risk having him back there. So Boston Scott is reliable there, but I think I would look for an upgrade. We talked about looking in the draft, but maybe they'd look at one of those free agents. And if so, well, I've got 5 of them I'm going to talk about. So number 5, Jarvis Landry, 30 years old. But the one thing about him that would really, make me happy is the fact that we'd have a upgrade at wide receiver 3. I know he's been dealing with some injuries. And look, I still think he's very talented at 30 years old, coming into his 10th year. This dude is a stud. Always been a big fan of Jarvis Landry, and he could help you, but he's not really a kick returner. I'm sure he could do it, but he's more of a punt returner. So kind of have that area fixed, but he'd bring you some more explosiveness. I think Covey is going to find something. Hopefully he, develops and gets better this offseason. But for Jarvis Landry, he would help you definitely as a wide receiver 3. But when we're talking about the return game, maybe someone like Dearness Johnson, he's not going to come here and be your featured back, especially with Kenneth Gainwell, Rashad Penny. Trey Sermon is competing, so maybe he gives him a run for his money, and Boston Scott, because he can help you as a kick returner and a punt returner, a true return specialist. So I think for me, I could definitely get down with signing Dearness Johnson. We talked about him last year. He was a restricted free agent or exclusive rights, one of the two, and they brought him back. But talk about being buried on that depth chart. So hopeful that maybe he finds a new home and he gets to compete here. That would be awesome. I would love to see him come here and compete, because we don't know what we're going to get in Sermon. Got to get some competition for Scott. We know we're very excited for Penny. Hopefully he stays healthy, and you've got Gainwell. So look, we'll see how we improve in the draft, but you don't have to not look in free agency. So option at running back there. And then another option here at wide receiver, Jamison Crowder. We talked about going to be 30 years old, but I still love his game. Unfortunately, injured last year, but he's got a lot of talent and would really help you as that number 3 slot receiver as well. So that's something I'm looking at. Somebody that can help you in the return game, but also help you a little bit on offense, as we talked about during the wide receiver show. Crowder was up there. Would really, really love to have him. And then the same can be said for my number 2 here, DeAndre Carter, who also going to be 30, but love this dude. We talked about being an ex-Eagle, being able to step in there with the injuries to Keenan Allen and then Mike Williams in LA, becoming a starter, having really great games and helping in the return game as well, not just as the slot guy. So I think he could be another guy that could help you on offense. He has really developed his game over the years, and you love to see that. So hey, I would be all for, a cheaper option like a DeAndre Carter. And then someone who was just released is my number 1 now at wide receiver. And now here and look, I'm not saying that he's better than Crowder or he's better than Jarvis Landry as a receiver, but this is my number 1 when it comes to price tag and just overall fit. He's a speedster. He's a slot guy. He's essentially what you wish Quez Watkins was doing right now. And I'm not saying that, Quez's career is over or anything like that, but he definitely regressed last year. It was unfortunate to see him. A big fan of Quez Watkins and his game. He's got a lot of speed to it, but he didn't work out well as a kick returner. He doesn't punt return, and, he struggled as a receiver. This guy would come in and you could definitely help you in the return game in both phases, kick returner, punt returner, and he could help you on offense. And if you keep Quez around, you can use them both. But we also talked about the fact that you could be letting go of Quez to save some cap space. So possibility there in Isaiah McKenzie. But that was it, ladies and gentlemen. That was all of the free agent specialists, return specialists, all those guys, all my top 5 for you. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Who would you like to add? Would you like to add a kicker, punter, long snapper, punt returner, kick returner? What's on your mind, whether you're an Eagles fan, whatever? Who do you like here? And if you want some more, you've got offense and defense, which I will put down below in the comments. So, well, have yourselves a great rest of the night. I'll be back tomorrow. But until then, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. Have a great night. Stay safe out there. And as always, go Birds!